Welcome to Lean Excel Solutions. Today we will learn to create this interactive customer analytics dashboard in Microsoft Excel using Power Query and PowerPivot with the survey data collected using Microsoft Forms or Google Forms. In an earlier tutorial, a similar dashboard was created in Power BI using the same input data, in which it was demonstrated that how to set up a survey in MS Forms or Google Forms, and collect customer feedback by sharing a feedback link or QR code. Build a highly visual dashboard that uses feedback data without the need for manual input in order to gain more insights. The same input data will be used for this dashboard as well. Therefore, it is recommended to watch this section of the earlier tutorial on how to set up a survey and collect input data. You can watch it by clicking on the link in the description, or by clicking here. This tutorial is divided into the following sections. Be sure to watch the entire tutorial. However, you may jump to any section by clicking on the timestamp provided in the description. Let's begin with the first section. Here is a table containing input data gathered from survey feedback. In addition, there are two reference tables for rating ranges and feedback categories. You will find a link to download this file in the description. We will edit these tables in Power Query. For that, click inside the table, then under the Data tab, select from Table Arrange. A new Power Query Editor window will be opened, with the feedback category table loaded to it. In the same manner, we can add the remaining two tables to Power Query. Let's click on Close and Load to. Click on Only Create Connection. Here you will find all the queries and connections. For the rating range table, let's repeat the same steps. Same for the feedback data. Let us now complete the data transformation. The steps are similar to those in the Power BI tutorial. Make a duplicate of the feedback table and rename both as Feedback and General. As the ID column contains a unique list of numbers, we will use it as a primary key to link the two tables in Power Pivot Data Model. Let's select the columns that we will keep in this table. Keep the ID column selected and by pressing the Control key, select the remaining columns. Right-click and select Remove Other Columns. We'll rename a few columns. We will add one condition column for the NPS category, based on the NPS rating. Add 11 clauses, for the 0 to 10 rating range, and then complete all conditions as appropriate for detractors, passives, and promoters. Just copy and paste up to 6. Let's now move to the general table, and select again the required columns and remove the rest. Right-click on the ID column and select Unpivot Others. This will transform the data into 3 columns: ID, Feedback, and Rating. We will use merge queries to retrieve feedback categories and ratings. Let's rename the columns as appropriate. Okay, we have completed the data transformation. Lastly, click Close and Load to. We will now add these 2 tables to the data model, which is PowerPivot. Simply check this box, click Only Create Connection, and click OK. As you can see, these 2 tables only display connections, and they show the number of rows as they are added to the data model. The PowerPivot can be accessed by clicking here, which opens a new PowerPivot window. It can be seen that 2 sheets have been loaded onto the PowerPivot. Here are the options for switching between a grid view and a diagram view. Let's switch to diagram view. Since ID column has unique entries, we will create a relation between these 2 tables based on ID column. Both tables are now connected by one-to-many relationships. Now let's close it. We will create one sheet called Analysis, which will contain all the dashboard calculations, including pivot tables. In order to insert the pivot table, go to Insert tab. Under the Pivot Table drop-down, select the option from Data Table, which is PowerPivot. Here we can see that all of the tables are from the workbook, while these 2 are from the data model. Let's add the overall rating field. Change the sum to the average. Let's format it. Alright, we'll keep adding pivot tables and calculations along with dashboard visuals. So, let's begin by adding a dashboard sheet and creating a dashboard background. For the dashboard design, here are the gradient colors, background color, and font we're about to use. We will create some background shapes in PowerPoint, because it is easier to do so than in Excel. For example, we can get the background size of the 16:9 ratio, which is size of the slide. Using the Merge Shape option, we can make unique shapes. A detailed video on merging shapes can be viewed here. Let's copy and paste these shapes back into Excel. Now let's arrange it properly. It is always better to use the Align option, instead of manually aligning. Let's add and format the dashboard title. Add a text box for the dashboard title. Let's format it. Let's add a sheet for the colors we saw in the PowerPoint. Select all and copy them to Excel so we can easily format shapes and font colors. Now, it is easy to copy the color code and use it for formatting purposes like this. Let's finish formatting the dashboard background. For the subtitle, copy and paste this and modify accordingly. Let's add this shape to make it look better. Copy and paste it. Let's group these shapes and color them with gradient colors. Copy this, paste it, and rotate. For all visual titles, we will use this, so let's group them together. So now that we have completed the dashboard background formatting, let's move on to the dashboard visuals. The first, overall feedback rating. This can be copied and renamed for the heading. Let's add a line. We will also use gradient color for the line. Let's copy this line. Let's prepare data for the overall rating chart using this pivot chart. Taking into account the maximum rating of 5 stars, this is the actual rating and the balance will be 5 minus this. Here, we will add a donut chart. From here, cut it and paste it on the dashboard sheet and format it accordingly. let's add text to represent the overall rating. And in the formula bar, enter equal to, and select the overall rating cell from the analysis sheet. Now, it will automatically change, based on the rating change. Let's format it. Now, let's add the star rating visual. This was prepared and used in the earlier Power BI tutorial. Let's use it here as well. Copy and paste it into Excel. For now, let's change the transparency, and we'll finish the formatting later. For the selected range, let's add a stacked bar chart. For the stack, switch columns to rows. Now, this will be the actual star rating, and this will be balance. As the maximum star rating will be 5, let's set the axis value accordingly. Let's format it. Let's move it to the dashboard now. Now, let's adjust the chart and star shapes, so the stars and chart bar overlap completely. Let's format the chart now. We can now remove the transparency from the star shape and change its color to match the background of the dashboard. Let's group them, and we will have our overall feedback visuals. Next, let's prepare gender-specific visuals. Make a copy of this pivot and modify it as necessary. With reference to the pivot table, let's prepare the data for the charts. Copy and paste it. Let's use the formula to look up the values form the pivot table. Calculate the percentage. Now, let's add the donut chart for the selected range. Next, move it to the dashboard and format it. Make a copy of this text box and change the value accordingly. Make a copy and modify it accordingly. From the icon library, let's add male and female icons. Let's adjust the size and color of the icons. Now, let's add the slicer. Move it to the dashboard. Here, we will use 2 columns. Let's adjust the height and width too. In order to match the dashboard theme, we will modify the slicer style. But, as we can see, we cannot modify these default slicers. What we can do is right-click on any of these slicer styles and select Duplicate. Here we can make the necessary modifications. Let's rename it, and click OK. This is the one we just added, which we can now modify. Let's do it. Once we select it, we can see the changes slicer style. Let's modify it further. Alright, we will continue with the remaining part in the next video. You can watch it by clicking here, or by clicking the link provided in the description. It is also available at the end screen. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed. Thank you for watching.